Are you having issues with problem guests at your Airbnbs or your short-term rentals? Or maybe you're not really excited to start an Airbnb because you don't want to deal with all those problem guests. Well, I have 3 tips for you today on how to properly pre-screen all of your guests so that you can eliminate or reduce all of those issues. Check it out here on the Fearless Flipping Podcast. If you want financial freedom, time freedom, and want to leave a legacy for generations to come, you probably have heard real estate investing is the place to do that. How do you get started? What do you have to do? When's the right time? If you are looking for those answers, you've come to the right place. My name's Kyle Stanley, and this is Fearless Flipping. My mission is to help you learn this business and conquer real estate investing. Hey, welcome into the Fearless Flipping Podcast. My name's Kyle Stanley, and for those of you that are checking in, you know that I love to talk about Airbnb. I love to talk about real estate investing. I love to talk about both. So I've really been having a struggle recently of what I want to talk more about. Well, you as the listener and the viewer have been shouting out loudly really a lot to me recently that you want more Airbnb information, education, consultation. So I'm here to deliver that. We are going to be ideally bringing you one episode per week about Airbnb and another episode with an expert about real estate investing, or maybe even double up on Airbnb. So those are the things that you can expect more of here in 2020. Same great results with what we're looking for is just getting you results in conquering whatever it is that you want to conquer. Airbnb, real estate investing, creative ways of real estate investing, whatever it is that you want, we want to be able to give it to you. That's why we're coming to you here on the Fearless Flipping Podcast. And with that being said, I am really excited to give you my very own free, that's right, free Airbnb calculator, or if you want to call it an Airbnb deal analyzer. I just made this. This thing is awesome. You plug in the numbers for what your expenses are. You plug in the mortgage, you plug in the rent, you plug in what you think you're going to make on a monthly basis. It spits it all out and shows you what you will make on a monthly basis after expenses, yearly basis, and also your yearly ROI. So if you want to get that, I don't even have a page for that yet. This is just specifically for you who is listening or watching today. You can email me, kyle@fearlessflipping.com, and you will get that free Airbnb calculator deal analyzer. Just go ahead and email me. Say, Kyle, I want that deal analyzer you were talking about on Fearless Flipping. I will send it your way, and you will have it in your inbox. Now, the real reason that you came to this podcast today is because you wanted to learn more about how to pre-screen guests properly. And I don't blame you, because this is one of the things that people get the most scared about when it comes to Airbnb. Hey, aren't you going to deal with people breaking things, people, stealing things, people that have parties, people that do drugs, yada, yada, yada. And guys, guess what? The reason that I love sharing information with you, our listeners, our viewers, is because I want you to learn from the mistakes that I not only made, but am currently making. So this one is very real to me right now. And I'm just going to be completely honest and transparent in hoping that you take what I shared today and say, wow, if I implement those things that Kyle talked about, then I can avoid those things that Kyle has dealt with and is currently dealing with. So the goal today is to give you the 3 best ways to pre-screen your guests so that you won't deal with issues, or you can reduce the likelihood of dealing with issues. So first, let me start with a story. Again, these are the things that I'm dealing with. I'm going to be completely transparent, vulnerable, and tell you that this is not to scare you, but to hopefully get you to take action and avoid the things that I'm doing wrong. So I hate vacancies. They're expensive. They are, to me, just it gives me anxiety. Why do I have a vacancy? What did I do wrong? And so I start kind of overthinking this thing, when at the end of the day, there just might not have been as much of a demand that day for the area that I'm in. So when it comes to these vacancy or occupancy opportunities, I have a very high risk tolerance. What I mean by risk tolerance is I'm willing to take on the issues that may arise, because I know that everything is fixable. And if it's not fixable, that means it's not in my control. And if it's not in my control, it doesn't deserve my energy. One more time on that. Everything is fixable. This isn't just Airbnb, guys. This is life. Everything is fixable. If it's not fixable, then that means it's not in my control and it's not worth my energy. So my risk tolerance with Airbnb is very high. I've dealt with things. I've had broken doors. I've had people steal things. I've had parties. I've had all this stuff. where Airbnb honors that host guarantee, and they come back and they give me a full reimbursement if the guest doesn't always already offer up that full reimbursement. And yes, my maids have to clean more. Yes, if there's other people on the property, they have to deal with that stuff. But until recently, I never thought of it being really a risk that anyone else takes on until earlier this week. We had a guest who was a local, had no reviews, and said to me, "Hey, I'm just trying to throw together a little birthday party for my friend, but there's only 10 of us." Her words were, "We are a sack of potatoes. We're very quiet, and we really are just looking to play board games. We saw that your place has board games, and we are also looking to just have a couple drinks and lay low." Now, this was definitely what I call a red flag, but I hate vacancies. It was like 5 o'clock at night, and I'm like, $200 looks really nice to have in my pocket versus no dollars. So I let it happen. Well, the next day, a couple things happened. This guest asked for a late checkout, which was fine. They were willing to pay for it. They paid for it, but they said the latest they were going to be out is 1 o'clock. Well, 1 o'clock rolls around, my maid shows up. Guest is being woken up by the doorbell to my maid. The guest starts to get upset. I paid for extra time. The maid reminded them, as per my request, that they paid until 1 o'clock. After that, they need to be out. Well, that was the first kind of like, why is this going on? Kind of ding, ding, ding. Hopefully nothing else happens. Well, something else did happen. I got a text and a phone call from two different neighbors that said, we heard gunshots at 3 p.m. or 3 a.m. And one of them actually saw it. They said it was just shot up in the air. Now that's better, but at the same time, not good. I've met all my neighbors. I know all my neighbors. I really honor that relationship with the neighbor. And for the first time ever, I realized, oh my gosh, I'm not the one just taking the risk. The neighbor is too. And that's when I had this freak out moment of, oh my gosh, why did I let this person hear? And yes, this is a very rare situation, but how can I have avoided this? Well, we've seen a really high, I guess, increase of people who are locals with no reviews that are booking, and the result is always less than good. Whether it's a mess being made, a party being thrown, drugs being found in the house, something like that, it's these locals who have no reviews. So here I am coming to you, giving you the 3 ways that I can avoid ever having to deal with this ever again. So number 1, I hope you've already heard it. No locals with no reviews. Do not accept any locals with 0 reviews. And I've just gotten to the point where I'm black and white on this based on this situation that happened this weekend. Even if you tell me, hey, my house is being renovated and that's why I need to get out for a couple days, I've just gotten to the point where I don't want to put my maid in danger. I don't want to put my neighbors in danger. And yes, I'm missing out on maybe $100, $200, but if I'm doing other things right, then I've got the rest of the month covered. So 1 vacancy, it's not going to kill me. So no locals. That's number 1. Number 2, get a verbal agreement, commitment, just something that they say in writing there that says, I have read your house rules and I agree to them. Now, if you use Smart B&B, you can make that one of your automated messages. Hey, thanks for booking with us. Make sure to review your house rules. It's very important that we get a verbal confirmation that you've read the house rules and agree to the house rules. You're almost like the flight attendant that's going to the exit rows and saying, are you ready if this plane goes down to be of assistance at this exit row? Yes, I need a verbal. Okay, yes, 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 you, yes. Okay, same thing here. We need a yes in response. I agree to this message that you have read and reviewed and agreed to the house rules. This is going to avoid a lot of things. This is going to avoid people breaking the house rules, for one. People continuing to leave the place dirty. A lot of people just come in and think, oh, there's house rules, but as long as I just treat it well, then it doesn't matter. And then they completely forget that, hey, there was actually a set of instructions and rules that I completely missed because I just thought, like anything, just like the terms of agreements on anything that I ever sign online, I don't have to really read that. No, yeah, we really need you to read that. And that's going to help everyone in the process. Hey, Fearless Flipping community, we are taking a quick break from the podcast to talk about Airbnb. For those of you that don't know, I have built much of my residual income around Airbnb. Despite a lot of other investors being really excited about long-term renters, I was not. I saw an opportunity with Airbnb to get to my goals faster, to get more cash flow, and to pay off my houses quicker too. So instead of being really happy like a lot of other investors are with $200 to $300 of cash flow every single month, I've turned my renters and rentals into over $1,000 on average of cash flow every single month. So if you want to learn more about Airbnb, my systems, where I pick my Airbnbs, how I communicate with guests, maybe you've already got Airbnb as a business on the side right now, but you want to take it to the next level, I am absolutely here to help you. You can book a free consultation with me about Airbnb. Learn more by booking at fearlessflipping.com/consultation, and you get me for 30 minutes for free. That's right, 30 minutes absolutely free. And that's, once again, fearlessflipping.com/consultation. And I'm looking forward to helping you conquer Airbnb investing. And the other part that verbal agreement does is it protects us with Airbnb. So the great thing about this was that I went straight to Airbnb's customer service and I said, hey, here's what happened. And this guest verbally agreed that they would read the house rules or that they had read the house rules and agreed to them. And as you can see, it says no partying of any kind. And we've got people that were firing guns at 2:30 a.m., that there was loud music, that there was way more people than were on the reservation, which it also said on there for every excessive guest, $50 per person. And it said verbally that they agreed to that. So when I shared that with Airbnb, they said, yes, it is obvious that they broke your rules. And for that reason, we will honor what you're requesting from them. So very, very important. That is a kind of a precaution to take so that moving forward, when you have that conversation with Airbnb customer support, they're reimbursing you. Which, by the way, if you didn't already know this, Airbnb customer support has the best customer support in the entire business. They will take care of you and they will 100% have your back. Now, there's some things I've noticed recently where they're starting to have more of the back of the guest. For example, I had a review recently from someone who had a party in my house. It was unauthorized, and that guest left a review. Airbnb usually would have taken that down. This time they said that because there was no direct violation of the Airbnb policies, not just my house rules, but the Airbnb policies, that they would not take down the request, but they would, however, flag the account. So for that reason, Airbnb is becoming a little bit more guest friendly, but they still have my back. They still reimburse me the full $300+ of the damages that were done there. And they saw that the policy that I had in place was also broken. So they reimbursed me for those penalties too. So again, number one, no locals with no reviews. Number two, you get a verbal commitment, a verbal confirmation that they have read the house rules. And then lastly, you get them to sell themselves. I know many of you are here on Airbnb for maybe the first few times and you're just so desperate to get some bookings, and you feel like you're having to sell yourself, sell your listing, and get yourself out there to hopefully, oh my gosh, I hope I'm going to get some bookings. Well, people are needing you as much as you need them. So you need to realize that you can turn this around on them and get them to sell themselves to you. And in a situation like that, you suddenly are in a place of power. So the one thing I love to do, and I have this done with Smart BNB, so it's automated. If someone either books or requests to book or wants to ask some questions, they get an automatic message from me that says, hey, we get booked all the time and we have a lot of busy seasons going on right now. We have a lot of people attempting to book. We know you have questions. We'll get to them soon enough. However, if this is your first time with Airbnb, we need to know why you're staying here. We don't usually take people with 0 reviews. And also we need to know, no matter what, what is the reason for your stay. And we would suggest just going ahead and booking as soon as possible. There is a 48-hour cancellation policy. You can cancel at any time. So we get more bookings because people feel like, oh, hey, it's not just as simple as booking. It's, hey, I got to prove myself to Kyle and his management team that I'm worthy of staying there, and I'm going to treat the place really well. Now, let me do a little disclaimer saying that these three things that I just mentioned to you will not bulletproof you. They will not make you prone to, or I guess immune is a better word, immune to the things that we know can happen. We can't control people, especially people that come into the house. They have one intention, they start having a few drinks, and then something happens and boom. We can't control those things, but we can reduce the opportunity for people to destroy our house, to steal things, to make, just have parties, to fire guns at the middle of the night because of the ways that we pre-screen them. So if you can take these three things and implement them into your pre-screening process, which can all be done very simply through automation. Once again, smartbnb.io is what I use, and I don't even get paid by them. I don't even think they don't even get paid enough to be able to send referral fees, I don't think, because it's like $8 a month. It's super easy. It's the most non-brainer thing you'll ever do for your Airbnb business, is to just use SmartBnB. Automate everything, and you'll find that more people will start booking right away rather than sending requests and asking a million questions. And more people will have better reviews and will be better suited for your places because you have these three criteria that you must, without any sort of leniency, put in place to be able to get them to understand that this is not like staying at a hotel where all your problems will be picked up by someone else. You are responsible if you trash this place. You are responsible if you steal something. You are responsible if you end up waking up our neighbors at 3 a.m. in the middle of the night with gunshots. So I hope that this was something that really does not scare you, but gets you excited about ways to be able to pre-screen properly so that you don't deal with these issues nearly as much, and that you will continue to learn how to conquer Airbnb investing. Now, once again, you want to go to my email to get that Airbnb calculator, kyle@fearlessflipping.com. And we also have a very awesome Airbnb Kickstart program that many people are taking advantage of. We're getting great results from some of our clients. One of them I'm going to be doing an interview with this week, Ron and Joan McLean, giving them a shout out. They have just made their first Airbnb investment property. In their first 3 weeks, they are 100% booked up. And the exciting thing about that one, they're following my mother-in-law hack, which is allowing them to have 2 units on the same property, almost double their profits after expenses. So these are things that I'm teaching through the Airbnb Kickstart program. If you want to learn more about that, make sure to include in that email that you want to learn about that. But soon enough, we're going to have one landing page on our website where you can get the calculator, you can get more information on the Kickstart program. And again, guys, this is just something that I'm answering to you, my listeners and viewers, that have been asking more and more and more. Can you do this? Can you do this? Can you offer this? Can you offer that? And for that reason, I'm answering exactly what you guys want. So here's the deal. If you want more things, just ask. Let me know what else you want, and I'll probably start implementing that too. So I hope this was very helpful. I hope this helps you to conquer your fears of Airbnb, and I hope that you will go out and give this thing a shot. We'll see you next time.